Cuba! It's me, Elian Habanero, episode 25 of the W.I.L.L.I.W show. That's right, I'm still going. I made a goal. I am not gonna quit. I have to meet this challenge. One video a day for a whole year. 365. If this is episode 25, that means there's 340 to go. And I'm gonna get there. Now, remember, the W.I.L.L.I.W show stands for Wrestling is Life. Life is Wrestling. I love wrestling. Right now I'm not doing wrestling, but I want to do wrestling. But I'm going to talk wrestling. Now, some people may know, some people may not. After I moved from Cuba, I grew up in British Columbia till I was 18. And then I moved to Ontario for wrestling. So BC always has a great place in my heart. Now back then, there wasn't a lot of wrestling. I would go to some of the shows and there'd only be like 30 to 50 people in the crowd. And now my heart is so happy to see what wrestling has become in British Columbia. Now, I have to admit, I'm a little bit biased as I don't see a lot of the shows except for the island shows, W.I.L.L.I.W and PWA, but I'm impressed with what I have seen. I've seen some YouTube videos, but this is going to be my top 10 list of people that I would like to wrestle in BC as I'm headed out that way soon, and I would just wanted to make a list because I like talking about wrestling, and you know, I'm a fan just like everybody else. Now, obviously, these things may not happen. You just never know. But it's fun to do dream matches. So, and remember, I have not seen that much. So, if you're left off the list, don't take it too bad. Like, maybe I haven't seen you. Maybe you haven't been wrestling that long. Who knows? Like, who knows what the circumstances are? This is just based on what I've saw. So, my number 10 guy is Nathan Legacy. Now, I know he hasn't been wrestling that long, but some of the videos I've seen of him, man, he could do anything. And if he faced a Cuban sensation in the ring, guaranteed he'd have to step his game up to a level he has not stepped it up before. I think me and him could have a great contest. Number 9 on my list, BJ Laredo. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I love the name BJ Laredo. I seen this one clip of this match. He did like a tag team cage match. I seen for a big guy, he moves, he can do some stuff. And I love wrestling bigger guys. I like the challenge. I like to try and see if they can throw me around and how much I can come back. And I think me and him can have a fantastic contest. My number 8 is Scott Steele. He may have balls of steel, but he don't have balls like Cuba. And I'll tell you this, if we ever did wrestle, I would cut a way better promo on Scott Steele than the one Joey Allen did when he talked about the Trinidad match that was set to happen. Now, I know he can fly too, he can do some hardcore. I say Scott Steele and the Cuban in a Havana street fight would blow the roof off the place. So my number 7 guy is, I love the name, Straight Outta Crofton. Now, I was surprised he's so tall, and he's won a lot of titles, and he's got a lot of heart, and I think me and him could really make the fans be in awe from what we could do in the ring, and I think I would show him that Cuba's on a whole new level, but I think he would also show me what he's got too, and I would love to battle him in the ring. My number 6 guy is Cremator. The guy that's been around forever on the island and the mainland. He is a 7-foot legit monster. And I think if the Cuban went against him, I would be scared. But the kids especially would love this match because they're terrified of him. The way I come out, I'm so energetic. My kids is my biggest fan base. And I think our match could be the talk for the kids. Now, sometimes he does remind me of the wacky inflatable arm flaily balloon gimmicks, but he has got a lot of heart. His passion for wrestling is unmatched, and I always wished I could work him. I'm just proud of, like, not saying it matters what I say. If I'm proud of someone, who cares? But, like, I'm just so proud of how he stuck with it, and now he's seeing the success that he truly deserves. So my number 5 guy, Eddie Osbourne. Now, I've wrestled him like hundreds of times in Ontario, only once in BC, but I honestly feel, knowing what I do now, and I just have this crazy charisma, and I come out, I'm so pumped up. We used to have some great technical matches, but I think now, if we wrestled, it would just be on a whole new level. I would come out, I would get the crowd in a frenzy, and me and Eddie Osbourne could have the best match we've ever had, and that's out of like hundreds of them. Number 4, the one guy from the mainland who I'd like to pick, to me, is the number 1 legend in BC, Scotty Mac. The man's been doing it for so long. How he hasn't been signed is beyond me. He's so charismatic. He's got the look. He's got the in-ring tools. And he's always been, when I think of BC, I always thought of Scotty Mac first. And like a lot of guys coming from the mainland, I don't know, they don't really want to do too much in the ring with some of the new guys. He doesn't give me that impression. He seems like he wants to go out there and have the best match every night, no matter who he's in there with. And to me, it would just be an honor to face him in the ring. So my number 3 guy, I also have a history with him, Siddartha. Now, I used to train with this guy, and his power, I've never seen anything like it. Like, just in training, sometimes he would pick me up unexpectedly when I wasn't ready for it, and he could just pick me up and throw me around with the greatest of ease. But Lack, back then, he wasn't like he is now. He is something else. I'm scared of him too. Like him and Cremator, they actually give me like nightmares. But I honestly feel if Lack and Elian went at it now, we've wrestled in the past too, but I feel if we went at it now, it would be some stuff that would just blow people's minds. Like really, honestly, I would love to wrestle Lack. And number 2 is TJ Harley. Now, he has been around for like 20 years. He came up with so many of the greats. He's truly a great himself. I have witnessed him wrestle some of the greatest matches in Ontario, and now it makes my heart happy to see he's wrestling in BC. If you are ever in the ring with him or training with him, you can learn so much from this guy. I wrestled him one time, and it still to this day haunts me because my performance was not where I expected it to be. A couple of the moves that I tried to execute didn't go as well as I thought they would, and I was always so upset with myself over that. I could never live it down, so to have one more chance to redeem myself with TJ Harley would be an amazing feeling. Now my number 1 pick may be a surprise because he's not currently an active wrestler, but my pick would be Marcus Rios / Havoc / Aaron Kern, whatever you want to call him. This man has more charisma in his pinky finger than anyone I've ever met. He can get a crowd going crazy into a frenzy. His mind for wrestling is unbelievable. Like, when we used to train together back in the day, the things he could come up with, but we have this chemistry too. But honestly, my life would be complete. I could die happy the next day if I wrestled this man in Campbell River. I honestly feel that would be my true moment of coming full circle, and I just wish to see him step in the ring. I know he's been doing some announcing, and he's absolutely good at it, but I want to see him do a bit of training because he is such a great character, and I want to see him wrestle. I know he's got it. He's always had the passion. Let's do it. So yes, this is episode 25 of The Willow Show. Am I coming to BC? Yes. When? We don't know. We'll have to see. But just to have any of these guys on my list to be in a match with, just one of them would make me happy. I'm so happy for what BC is doing, and it's just a great thing. They're one of the hottest places in the world right now, specifically in Canada for sure, and it's fantastic. This is episode 25 of The Willow Show, which stands for Wrestling is Life, Life is Wrestling. Remember, like, or you get a leg drop. Comment, or you get a clothesline. Subscribe, or you get a suplex. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!